Hello everybody on the internet. So, yesterday news came out about a live action Scooby-Doo show at Netflix being in development. If you know me at all, you know that I am a massive Scooby-Doo fan. I grew up with it and it means a lot to me. I've made quite a few Scooby-Doo videos on my channel. Also,
I think Coolsville sucks.
The two live-action Scooby-Doo movies directed by Raja Gosnell and written by James Gunn. I've watched those movies billions of times, and Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is one of my favourite movies of all time. So, hearing that Warner Brothers are officially developing a live-action Scooby-Doo show is exciting news. And being at Netflix, you can imagine that it'll be high quality. And while this is an exciting idea, an exciting thing to hear about, there are a few questions. Few concerns. Firstly, I'll say that I do not think this will at all be better than the two original live-action movies. That cast is perfect, beyond perfect. Those movies were so well executed, nailed the tone. And I also don't think it'll be better than the Mystery Incorporated series. That is just a fan series, but it's professional quality. And we only have one episode which came out 2 years ago now. Check out that episode and my video on that. I really expected we would have another episode of that series by now, but we don't. It's still happening. It's still very much happening, but it just takes time. The whole darker concept of that show, though, that cast and crew have absolutely nailed. I'm so excited for the rest of it. But back to this series, and the article from Deadline goes, a classic Warner Brothers IP is headed to Netflix with a reimagining from one of the studio's top TV producers. In a competitive situation with multiple bidders, the streamer has landed Scooby-Doo, the live-action series, from Greg Berlanti's Berlanti Productions and Warner Brothers Television, where the company is based, sources tell Deadline. Written by Josh Applebaum and Scott Rosenberg, based on characters created by Hanna-Barbera, Scooby-Doo is a live-action update of the popular cartoon. In a tough TV marketplace, the drama project garnered interest from top buyers, ending up at Netflix with a premium script-to-series commitment, sources said. Reps for Netflix and WTV declined to comment. So, it sounds like the show is actually going to officially be called Scooby-Doo the live-action series. And that has a lot of implications. It sounds like it could be a direct adaptation of the old cartoons. It also said that it is a drama project. But even though it says that, I don't think it'll be like a dark drama like something like Supernatural or Riverdale. That is along the lines of what the Mystery Incorporated fan series is. I do not imagine Warner Brothers would ever go in that kind of direction with Scooby-Doo. They originally tried that with the original direction for Scooby-Doo 1, but they changed that for good reason. So Scooby-Doo the live action series could be a sort of drama comedy series about Mystery Inc. as teenagers in high school, Coolsville, solving mysteries. Other than that, I don't really know how this could be a reimagining, because essentially everything that can be done with Scooby-Doo has been done. The two live action movies were a big reimagining because they were the first time doing Scooby-Doo in live action. And James Gunn gave those characters so much depth, and they nailed being live action cartoons. And then there have been a million other Scooby-Doo cartoon movies and stuff that have just taken them to ridiculous places. And then Mystery Incorporated, the fan series, that does Scooby-Doo in such a dark way for the first time. But now to the concerning things. This show is going to be produced by Greg Berlanti. He produced the CW Arrowverse. He also wrote Green Lantern. But he also produced Stargirl, and he produced Free Guy. I like Stargirl and Free Guy, but the Arrowverse, everything, that's really concerning. Those shows are so infamous for being cringy, make stupid writing decisions. And now, the writers of the show, starting with Josh Applebaum. I'm not familiar with him, but he wrote Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. Also, the two live-action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies. I like those movies, but the writing really is not their strength. He also wrote Citadel. I am not exaggerating. That show is one of the worst things ever made. Now, Scott Rosenberg, I'm also not familiar with him, but he wrote Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle and Jumanji The Next Level. I have not watched those movies, but they have good reception. I hear good things about them. And he also wrote Venom. So, the work of these three is questionable mostly, but I hope that comes down to the IP itself and also some studio work. But what they've done isn't really reassuring. But based on the article, it sounds like there was a lot of interest around this project, this live-action Scooby-Doo show. So maybe that means it's good. And Scooby-Doo is such a rich, deep, and just amazing thing. So much potential there. So hopefully these two writers and this producer can do good with it. But yeah, I wouldn't say I'm hyped for it. I don't have full confidence in it, but I am excited about the idea. I'm very interested in the idea. I just hope for the best with this. But once again, I don't think it'll be better than the 2 live-action movies or the Mystery Incorporated fan series. Go and support that fan series, by the way. We need more episodes. Now, this show could be a while away, but the most important thing, they need to cast right. They'll never beat the original cast, but the thing about the original cast is that they were playing them as adults. This show sounds like it'll be the gang as teenagers. So, they need to cast teenagers. They need to cast teenage actors who look like the characters. They need to do it right. They need to not do what many things have done over the last few years and just miscast for the sake of being diverse. They need to cast Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy well, and then they need to create a good-looking CGI cartoon Scooby. And I hope that they either get Frank Welker or Neil Fanning to voice Scooby. And I recently met Neil Fanning at Supernova. So, that is just my take on this news. Being a Scooby-Doo fan, I'm interested, but there are concerns here. And I've seen a lot of people out there on the internet sharing the same concerns with the writers and producers. But ultimately, I'm just glad that Warner Brothers is still taking the Scooby-Doo franchise seriously, because it's one of the best things ever. It's been so long since they last did anything live action with Scooby-Doo. And then Scoob came out a few years ago, which I thought was a great new direction to take the franchise, but the pandemic didn't allow it to be successful. So this means they're still taking it seriously. So, what do you think of the news of Scooby-Doo, the live-action series at Netflix? What do you hope to see from this show? Do you have any concerns? Do you love the 2 live-action movies? Let me know in the comments below, and may the 4th be with you.